Thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you have spared some time to interact with our MBA incoming students. Currently, this is the first day of their 5-day long induction program. They'll be joining MBA and take MBA in our School of Management and Entrepreneurship at IIT Jodhpur. And the students, for your benefit, join me in welcoming Durga Shankar Mishra. Durga Shankar Mishra is currently the Secretary of Housing and Urban Affairs, an IAS officer of 1984 batch of the British cadre. He is a senior-most bureaucrat in the country as on date. He is spearheading a number of reforms and infrastructure development. He held many coveted and distinguished positions both in the field of the state as well as the center. He served as a collector of Agra, Sonbhadra, later of the Municipal Commission of Kanpur, and built Senate position in the state of Uttar Pradesh. In the center, he also served as the Joint Secretary in the Home Ministry, Additional Secretary in the Housing and Urban Development, and currently is Secretary over there. The theme that I have requested him to speak on, because I had the great privilege of working with him as his deputy in the Home Ministry. We were heading the Foreigner Division. He's a great reformist. Wherever he goes, whatever he does, he leaves his indelible mark of reforms. So I have requested him to share his insight about infrastructure development of the country, because infrastructure is a very key component of the country's economic development, which in turn has a great bearing on the business. So that's the theme I have requested him to speak on. He's a very hard-pressed man, extremely occupied man. He has been very kind to spare half an hour to 40 minutes to interact, and later on, maybe 1 or 2 question paper. With this, sir, over to you.
Very good afternoon to you, Dr. Mitra. Is my voice okay? Is my voice clear?
100%, sir. Your voice is very much clear as I know.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. A very good afternoon to you and the faculty members who have joined from IIT Jodhpur, and all the young students. I feel so young in front of these students who are going to start their MBA program in a School of Management and Entrepreneurship at IIT Jodhpur. I have another affiliation with you. I'm also an IIT product. I graduated from IIT Kanpur in 1983. So we have the same alma mater. You are going to join that league of IITs across the country. And I wish you all the very best. You are now entering into a profession which will take you to the different kinds of responsibilities and challenges. And I'm sure with this kind of a background, you will be able to really do very well in your life and to your country. Let me first thank Dr. Mitra. I have another relationship with Dr. Mitra. We were together working in the Foreigners Division in the Ministry of Home Affairs. I used to be the Joint Secretary there, and he was the director there looking after visa matters. And we worked together for over 2 years, almost like 2.5 years. There was a lot of transformation in the visa matter during those periods. This was the year 2004 to 2006. So by fondly, this is the way he spoke and gave a brief. Brief
So thankful,
yeah.
So thankful to you.
Yeah, that shows the affection continues. Well, at right time, you are going to join this kind of a profession of Masters in Business Administration. Today, the country is moving very fast. The last 7 years, from 2014 onwards, things have changed a great deal, which you might be, you as a student, whichever part of the country you come from a rural area or from the urban area, from the industrial area or a non-industrialized area, you might have changed experience the kind of transformation this country has been experiencing in the last 7 years. There is not a single sector which has not been affected during these 7 years. When the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, he took over in 2014, one of the mantras I learned from him and that the nation learned from him was reform, perform and transform. I mean, not that we didn't have administration, not that we didn't have, systems. The systems were there, but the systems were not delivering to the requisite potential what they could do. So what kind of reforms were required and how those reforms will lead to creating a kind of a congenial atmosphere where you can perform and through that you can transform. I can give examples from my own ministry, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, where I have completed 7 years now. I joined this ministry in July 2014 as Additional Secretary. For 3 years, I continued as Additional Secretary of Ministry of Urban Development. And in June 2017, when the two ministries, Ministry of Urban Development and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, these two ministries were bound together, coming into a new ministry called Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. I was the first secretary of that ministry, and they also have completed more than 4 years now. In these 7 years, we have spent over 12 lakhs crores in the urban area. And what has this been done for? This has been done to change the life of the people living in the urban area. The country is urbanizing so fast. I come from a rural area. I was born in a village in eastern Uttar Pradesh. For the first 12 years, I was living in my own village, studying in the primary school and attending college there. But from then on, I had to move to the urban area. I moved to Ranchi through a government scholarship, and there I did my higher secondary. And from there, I moved to IIT Kanpur to do my graduation. And from there, I joined Indian Administrative Service in the year 1984. It was continuously moving from one place to another place. And most of my further journey has been in the urban area, though I am fully connected with my rural area. I spend at least 1 week in my own village every year. So I've seen the transformation. I mean, this coming from that kind of background.
Excuse
Now,
me, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I think the voice is breaking. It's not very clear what you're speaking, sir.
Okay. Can you check this? Hello? Can you check this? Voice is breaking. Is the voice okay now?
It's little better, sir.
Okay. Is it okay? It is better now. I can bring the speaker closer to me. Is this okay?
Yes, sir. It's better
Okay.
now.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, well, I mean, these 7 years, we first started with Swachh Bharat Mission. And the results are here to be seen everywhere in whether it is the rural area or the urban area. The cities have become, I mean, for me, almost 4,401 cities, they have all become open defecation free. Now people don't defecate outside. We have almost like 68% of the municipal waste is being treated, scientifically being treated. It is you don't see the heaps of municipal waste lying on the roads when you move from the urban area to one place to another place. You used to see the huge heaps of the solid waste. Now we have got, I mean, you can use your mobile phone, and when you are urban area, you can reach out to the nearest loo. Google helps you in reaching to the nearest toilet. There are a lot of application of use of IT. Now we have got, we do this Swachh Sarvekhan, which is covering almost like 45 crores of people across the in the country in all the urban areas. And that Sarvekhan is done just in 4 weeks. How this is possible? This is possible by use of IT, by use of the space technology, by use of the other tools. So this we have been doing. I mean, there's whether it is a Swachh Bharat or housing program. The housing program, the Prime Minister had a vision to give everybody a house. and house which is a pakka house, all-weather house, having toilet, which is having a gas facility, electricity, water facility, all these facilities are there. And think of it, in 2015, when we made the initial assessment, the total requirement came out to nearly 1 crore. That was preliminary estimate. But later, when we had the assessment from all the states, this came out to 1.12 crore. And with this 1.12 crore, it has never happened in the history of mankind in any part of the world. The last program in the urban areas in our country, JNNURM, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewable Mission, between 2004 to 14, some 13 lakhs houses were sanctioned in the urban area, and they could construct only 8 lakhs houses. And here was a target of over 1 crore. How could you get a space for that? How you could manage your finances? How you could get a technology to do it? And now, six years from then, from 2015, I feel happy to share with you that we have already started construction of more than 83 lakhs houses. We have already sanctioned 113 lakhs houses. That is more than what was the assessed demand. And we have already completed and delivered to the beneficiaries, which you can see. I mean, the testimony of this, you go to any area, you will see that people are occupying houses and how this has changed, because house is a dream for any person, and how this has changed their whole life. So there's more than 50 lakhs people are in possession of such kind of houses, which has got water, electricity, gas, toilet facilities. All these facilities are there. So this is the kind of a transformation to that scale. We have got the, I mean, you must have heard about the Atal Mission for Urban Rejuvenation and Transformation, transforming the urban areas. I mean, the say 500 cities whose population is more than 100,000. That was the target initially. Now we are targeting all the cities, and the kind of the demand for the just for water taps, it was assessed to be 1.29 crores. Such a huge demand. We have already given connection to 1.05 crores. That's the kind of thing we have given. For the sewer, the connections, the total demand came out to 1.48 crore. We have already given more than 78 lakhs connections, sewer connections. We tried to change the street lights from the normal light, from the usual light to the LED lights. And the total in these 500 cities was around 1.01 crore. Already, more than 81 lakhs street lights have been changed to the LED lights. I mean, this is the kind of activities, the transformative activities happening in the urban area. I'm just giving these numbers so that you can understand what is that which is going to come up. I mean, this is just the beginning. On the smart city front, I mean, this was something, a new vision was brought by the Honorable Prime Minister, that we developed such kind of lighthouses. For the first time, a new paradigm was introduced into the urban area, where the cities participated in a challenge process, and we selected 100 cities through two levels of challenges, one at the state level and next at the national level, and we selected 100 cities. And they're like laboratories. You can visit any of the cities. I mean, these smart cities have got the integrated command and control centers, which are like the brain and the nervous system of the city, through which you can control, or you can, I mean, get the information and regulate things like, say, mobility, sanitation, use of energy, health systems, education systems. I mean, all these things is like a human being. What we do, the city can do that, and we already have 74 of them in place. Now we are in the process of developing a modular integrated command and control center, which can be used by any big city. So we are in the process of scaling it up, scaling that up. Our cities have got the smart roads, smart electricity, smart water systems, and various kinds of things which has come up, which was unthinkable 4 or 5 years back. That's the kind of a transformation we are having. On the mobility front, we started with only 240 kilometers of metro network. Today we have got 725 kilometers of the metro network operational. When you see in the city of Delhi and NCR, almost like 400 kilometers of metros. I mean, those who are from the NCR, you may be knowing about this 393 kilometers of metro network in Delhi and NCR, and 725 kilometers across the country. But more than that, now we have got 1,058 kilometers of metro network under construction. Over and above, now we are moving from the metro to the metro light and metro new, the new kinds of metros, which are which could be introduced in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. I mean, cities whose population is less, still they would like to have a better kind of a mobility. We have introduced a new technology which is called National Common Mobility Card. I mean, you must have, if you have followed, in December, the Prime Minister Modi, he has, our Honorable Prime Minister, he launched this National Common Mobility Card on one line of Delhi Metro. This is now applicable on the Bangalore Metro and various places across the country. This is for the first time our Honorable Prime Minister, he launched a driverless train. This is already 9% of the total driverless train across the globe is working now in India. And this is our technology. We have developed this. The whole line 7 of the Delhi Metro is working on a driverless train. So we are, I mean, this is the kind of transformation happening to the infrastructure. This is, I mean, this is something which I wanted to share from the urban area. There are many more things which are happening across India in the urban sector. But you see whether you see the shipping, Sagarmala project, or in the civil aviation, or you see the road sector, then NHI, the many things, a lot of infrastructure investments are going on. Why are these investments are going on? Preparing the country for the new India, preparing the country for the country is moving forward. Our total economy, you see, the prior to the pandemic was nearly $2.83 trillion economy, almost like $3 trillion economy. Honorable Prime Minister has targeted to take that to $5 trillion economy. This was the target for 2024. I think it may go by another couple of years, maybe 1 year or 2 years, because of the pandemic which we have faced, and there have been slowdown in the economy. Now the economy has again picked up post-pandemic. So this going from $3 to $5 trillion economy, and by 2030, $10 trillion economy. I mean, we are the 4th largest economy across the globe. So unless and until you build our infrastructure, unless and until you develop systems, you cannot take this kind of economic leap. And when you do this, then the quality of life is going to change for the urban area as well as for the rural area. Because when the economy expands, when the economy is going to expand, that economy is going to be, I mean, shared. The benefits of the economy is going to be shared by the citizens. Their whole quality of life is going to be changed. And you, as a future the managers are managing different kinds of things, different aspects of the human life. You are going to, address this, how to bring the quality of life, how to improve the quality of life. In fact, one of the things which you might be hearing, which you must have picked up from the Honorable Prime Minister's speeches, is the ease of living. How to bring ease of living, whether it is education or health or entertainment or any kind of thing which is the human requirement, how you can bring ease in their life. And this is possible once you expand the economy through building a robust infrastructure, through the this is Make in India is another instrument. Make in India is another instrument through which we have tried to bring so many things which we were trying to import. Now it's called Make in India. We have developed this Atmanirbhar Bharat. I mean, when the whole world was facing this, the whole world was facing the pandemic's impact at that time, our country had that kind of a confidence to launch Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this Atmanirbhar Bharat total, the package under our national infrastructure pipeline is to the tune of 110 lakhs crore. Out of this 110 lakhs crore, my ministry itself accounts for nearly 17% of that. And this is being reviewed at the level of the Honorable Finance Minister. Almost every 3 months, she is reviewing this, how this national infrastructure pipeline is getting on the ground. I mean, we have got on a monthly basis, Honorable Prime Minister himself reviews through all the major projects. You must have heard about the pragati meetings of the Prime Minister, where all major infrastructure projects, whether it is the rail, road, urban, the metro sector, projects on the shipping, all these projects are power sector. These projects are being monitored even at the level of the Prime Minister, and that gets a push. Once these things get implemented, they are directly going to impact the life of the individuals, life of our citizens. And that is how our country sees that when we are celebrating right now the 75th year of Indian independence, we are moving, transforming from one place to the another place. And when we become 100-year-old, whether it is by 2047, we should become fully a developed country. The economy grows to a great deal, and then the quality of life changes, completely changes, and we are as good or maybe better than most other developed countries. And there, your role, and because this is, everybody has to contribute. There's another thing which I have learned from the Prime Minister is the Team India. It is not the national government, not the state government, not only the local body government, but it is all of us together as a Team India. We have to address our issues. We have to see that how the country can prosper, how the country can address to the requirement of the last man and improve his quality of life. There lies your role. In fact, I'll stop here and would like to invite questions from you and be specific to what exactly would you like to know about the infrastructure or maybe the economic development. So I stop here and I mean request you, if you have any specific question, I would be very happy to share that. Thank you.
Aranika, are you there?
So, yes, sir.
Any questions?
Yes. Any of the participants who have any question, please raise your hands and we'll go from there. Yes. So, I see the first question coming from Hari Pandey. Would you like to go with your question?
Afternoon, sir.
Yes.
So my question is related to lighthouse project. Like how lighthouse project will bring change to the housing sector. Like it's been introduced this year only. So how it will bring a change in the housing sector?
Very good question. What's your name? Hari.
Sir, Hari
Which
Pandey.
city you come from? Hari, which city
Sir,
you come
Lucknow.
from?
Sir, Lucknow.
Lucknow. Okay, very good question. I think it's an excellent question. You see, we are in the ministry, as I mentioned to you, this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the Housing for All is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, that when we celebrate this 75th year of Indian independence, everybody has a house. And in this program, we are constructing, as I mentioned to you, 113 lakhs houses, out of which 50 lakhs have already been completed. In one of the reviews in July 2017, Honorable Prime Minister, during this Pragati review, he asked me, and I was as a secretary participating in that review, that when we are constructing so many houses, would you not like, take this opportunity to get the best construction technology in the world? And he wanted us to do this. So based on his directions, we started working on this proposition almost for a year with a lot of consultation from experts from India and from abroad. And we came out with a global housing technology challenge. I mean, I will request you, you can see this, Google it, you can see on our website, Global Housing Technology Challenge was structured. And this challenge was held in March 2019. This Global Housing Technology Challenge, 54 different technologies from across the globe, from 25 different countries, they participated with their own construction technology. And out of them, we have selected 6 through a competitive bidding process. These 6 technologies, we also selected 6 different cities through a challenge process. Like we divided the country into 6 different regions, southern region, eastern, western, etc. And through this challenge process, we selected city of Chennai, Rajkot. Rajkot is in Gujarat, Indore in Madhya Pradesh, Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh, Ranchi in Jharkhand, and Agartala in northeast, that is Tripura. So these cities have been selected through a challenge process, and for these cities, these technologies participated, and there we have selected different technologies in all these 6 places. These things were, I mean, we could have grounded these long back, but because of the pandemic, it was delayed. On 1st of January of this year, 1st of January, Honorable Prime Minister and the respective Chief Minister of those states, they laid foundation of these places, all these 6 places, and you will be very happy to know that these are such transformative technology which were not there in the country at all. I mean, we didn't have this kind of a technology, construction technology. These places, for example, Ranchi, I mean, it's like a 13-storied building. It is done like a Lego. As a child, you must have played the game of Lego. They will make the whole house, and the whole house on one another, they start happening. And similarly, like Chennai, I mean, Chennai, there is a factory kind of a thing where they make the staircase, they make the beams, they make the roof, they make the walls, all these things, and they'll just come and get all these things collected. In Rajkot, they make one floor just in 2 days. I mean, the 14-story building is coming up. I mean, the way, I mean, initially you have to set up a factory. You have to, I mean, factory kind of thing where you can do the prefab, all those things. And then there is you have to make the base. And once that starts, it starts moving very fast. This, you'll be surprised that say 1,000 houses, more than 1,000 houses are going to be constructed in 6 to 7 months. The beauty of the technology is this is very, very resource efficient. This is, I mean, very climate resilient. I mean, it doesn't pollute the climate because everything happens in a factory kind of environment, and it is only assembled at the place where at the place of site where the construction is happening. Now, these constructions are going on. We have launched two, three things. One, we have started enrolling people as technograhi, and I will invite all of you. I mean, those who are with a technical background and those who do not have a technical background, you can go on our website and you can enroll yourself as a technograhi. If you are enrolled as a technograhi, you will start receiving all the progress, and you can also see at different stages how things are happening. Then two, technograhi can also be, I mean, there is a training program, they can go and learn from there. We have associated IITs, NITs and other private engineering colleges to do their MTech and PhDs on these things, so that we would like these programs to become an Indian program. We have also developed, with the help of School of Planning and Architecture in Delhi and BMTPC, which is an organization under my ministry, a program which is called Navreet, is basically all 54 technologies, to give you acquaintance with that, with a specific focus to these 6 technologies, how these things are happening. So what we are trying to do is trying to get these technologies as Indian technology. And once they become Indian technology, just to give you a dimension, today our population is in the year 2011 census, urban population was only around 38 crores. Today it is estimated to be around 46 crores, but it is projected to be nearly 88 crores by 2051. That means we are going to develop, I mean, the urban area, total population is go up like this. To this kind of a construction, we are constructing a city like Chicago every year. That is the kind of construction work which is happening in the country. Now, the future construction in the country should be more climate resilient, it should be disaster resilient, it should be resource efficient, we should be able to use the local materials, we should be able to use the local technology. So with this objective in mind, we have this lighthouse project. So they are like the examples, and from there the technology can move on to the rest of the country. That's the objective. Thank you, Hari.
Sir.
Arunika, any question, other question?
For the students asking the questions, so shall I continue with it?
Yeah, please give me.
Yes. So the next candidate, I mean, the participant who want to ask the question is Sunandita Chaudhary. Sunandita?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the session. I have a couple of questions for you. Firstly, would be that your education and career graph has been the most interesting to follow. So, what are the habits that has made you excel at everything?
Nice to ask this, Sunandita. I have a self-belief. Say, I mean, like right from my childhood, my parents taught me to have belief in yourself, that you can do it. Once you have a belief, then you will definitely come out to, I mean, somehow it happens like this, that once you have your own belief, then you can make it. I mean, most of the people start with a doubt or a kind of that I cannot make it, or if I can make it only with a lot of difficulty. If you have a faith in yourself, I think the God is also with you. So I'm a very strong believer in that power of the God and belief in myself that I can make it happen. I mean,
Right.
Wonderful.
the many projects, many things. I mean, you see, today this whole Central Vista is transforming, and I'm leading that project. The Central Vista, the new Parliament building, the new Central Vista Avenue, the new Common Central Secretary. All these things I'm doing this, and I have a confidence that I can do it. So if you have your confidence, then you can definitely do it. That's my mantra.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. And my second question is, from your immense wealth of experience, how do you suggest that India, will be able to achieve the confluence of modernity and cultural sustainability?
Very nice. You see, this. I mean, let me start with the cultural sustainability. We have got a very great cultural diversity, and we have remained. I mean, our cultural diversity has sustained over the period. I mean, the country has gone through. I mean, if you trace back your history, we have gone through various kinds of experiences. It's like a, I mean, it's a graph which is such a curly graph, but we have sustained our cultural identity because of this cultural diversity, and our, I mean, Indians as such have various kinds of things a part of our life, which we, I mean, which we practice, and that's how this cultural thing has continued with us, whether it is in India or outside India. Now, how to sustain this with the modernity? I think modernity is not something which is new to us. I mean, our ladies, you go back say 1,000 years or 1,500 years back, they're much more modern than the today's stuff. It's only somewhere we lost our modernity, we lost our our focus, and then there was a period where we started having difficulty in expressing ourselves. I mean, you go back say 1,000 years back, you see those periods. I mean, see the kind of construction, the kind of architecture, the kind of, I mean, our own erudite people of different kinds of. I mean, it was not like a particular kind of people will only have this kind of erudity. It was such a good modern life which we lost, and now we are regaining. So I think it's very inherent in our DNA, and we are regaining that.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Arunika, there could be last one questions because Sir has a time constraint.
Yes.
Sure,
If
sir.
you have any.
Thank you, Mr. Saab. Yeah.
The next person to ask question would be Disha Joshi.
Yeah, this will be the last question, by the way.
Sure, sir.
Very good
Disha?
afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are
Disha.
audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So my question is that all the work that ministry does sometimes is overshadowed by political agenda or by the misinformation spread. So how do you keep yourself and your team motivated even under such high pressure situations?
Well, there is no contradiction, Disha. I mean, like you see, we have to work in a political system. I mean, as an IAS officer, I started my career in the year 1986 after my training at Mussoorie as a sub-divisional magistrate in Bareilly. Then I became additional district magistrate. I became district magistrate, secretary, principal secretary, different kind of capacities in state, in the central government as a director, as a joint secretary, additional secretary, different kind of responsibilities I've had. As a public servant, if you know your job, if you know your responsibility, because I'm here to deliver for the sake of the public, and I take an oath to the Constitution. Now the political leadership have their own agenda because they come from different kinds of background, and they want to address. It's like I'm a Hindu, somebody is a Muslim, somebody is a Christian, somebody is some other religion, and we are all professing the same thing in different manner, because ultimately if you take sum total of everything, it is all I mean, if you do good, you'll be good. If you do bad, then you'll be bad. Like कांटा बोएंगे तो कांटा ही मिलेगा, फूल आप बोएंगे तो फूल मिलेगा. That's the kind of the thing which happens in all kinds of religion. Similarly, in the politics also, they are all professing the same thing. They are going for the public good, to make public life better. Now, to realize that, realize that. Like, for example, I said, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, under his leadership from 2014 onward, had very different direction, very transformative kind of a, because I've had experience of working under different kind of a political setup. So the new thing is started. We have to align with it. I cannot challenge. I mean, I have an option to either to move out or to work with the system. So once you align with it and you have a bigger objective in this thing, so there is no contradiction. Yes, there sometimes you do feel, I mean, there are certain places where you find difficulties, but then you have to overcome it. I mean, for a larger good, for a bigger kind of a objective, for a what you want to achieve in your life. And that, I think, as an MBA graduate, whether you work for the government, whether you work for the private sector, I think one important thing you'll have to realize that everything is not a straight line. You will have to take, I mean, turns, and you have to take various kinds. You have to take a stand. You have to take a position, and you have to take a position keeping long-term perspective, not a short-term perspective. Otherwise, you'll keep quitting from a job all the time. You will have a friction. Whether you, I mean, you are in a private sector, public sector, or anywhere, there's going to be politics. There's going to be some differences. But those differences you have to overcome. You have to develop how to control yourself, how to manage yourself, so that you are stuck to the bigger good, and that happens in the government as well. And I think in my last 30 years, this is my 30th year as a Indian Administrative Service officer, and so far I've never felt difficulty. Yes, I've faced issues, but never a difficulty where I had to decide that okay, I have to quit. I found that I'm able to deliver far bigger things and moved on from there. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Arunika. No further questions. Sir has another meeting back to back. Arunika, would you propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the students and the faculty and the School of Management?
Yes, sir. I would like to propose a vote of thanks to the distinguished speaker, Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra, IAS officer, and all our faculties present here, and to the batch present here for our MBA 21-23. I would also like to thank everyone for their patience and sitting through this session. Sir, your words were very kind, and I'm sure for the batch we would surely note them down and will help us in our further journey. Thank you once again, sir.
I wish
Sir, thank
all
you
of
very
you
much.
all the very best for the new life you are entering in, and hope the country will be proud of you through your performance from here on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We look forward more interactions with you, sir, with our students in times to come. Thank you very much. We are grateful to you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करके इतना हमारा टाइम बर्बाद किया.